Hi guys, and welcome to this gouache painting tutorial. Today we're painting these two small ocean or beach sceneries, and really the theme of today is to paint using a little bit different color palette that you would maybe typically use for a painting like this. Well, without further ado, it's time to take out the watercolor sketchbook. With gouache paints, you don't need the paper to be super high quality, which is why I also use the backside of the fancy paper in this notebook. And after that, we can start to load up the paint palette and start with the first layer for the background. I personally think that it's fun to start with a solid color behind everything, so after mixing this light sandy brown from my gouache paints, I started to lather it on the page with a flat brush. You might own slightly different colors, which is totally okay. They don't need to be the exact same ones with mine, and actually I think both of the sceneries we're painting today can be achieved with many different color combinations, so feel free to explore your imagination and use whatever colors you have at home. But I had an idea for some sort of darker, moody sunset vibe for this first painting, and this light brown worked pretty well as the background color for that. Also, please don't worry yourself with this step too much. I know this can be the first trap for any perfectionists out there, but the truth is that we'll end up covering most of this background here, so it really doesn't need to be completely smooth, opaque, or even. But after the first background layer had dried, I added just a few pencil guidelines in here. I usually like to mark the horizon in place and maybe a few key details to help me with the placement and size of everything later. But after that, I mixed a slightly darker tone of the same color family we used in the background and started to darken the top part of the sky. I wanted there to be some sort of gradient here, so the upper part of the sky would be a little bit darker and then fade into a slightly lighter tone towards the bottom. Creating a smooth gradient effect like this is probably one of the hardest things to do with gouache paints in my opinion, because it's quite difficult to blend them together seamlessly without leaving behind some strokes or bold spots. So I think this was definitely the ugly part of this painting, and even if yours looks a little bit messy in this point as well, don't worry about it too much and just try to push through this stage. So here I tried to switch between the darker and lighter colors and try to use a very gentle hand to blend the colors, and I also spent a pretty good amount of time with this first step here. But after I was somewhat happy with this background for the sky, we can move on to create some white clouds here. I created them mainly using white paint, and you will notice that these first layers of white will kind of dry down a little bit more translucent, and then we can always layer the white on the higher points of the clouds. So I just created some here around the sky. You could go with even more or less clouds than this. And then to add a little bit more interesting accent here, you can see me adding this pinkish color to the lower parts of some of these clouds. I know it looks a little bit weird for now, but in the end I think it makes more sense and it added a nice color accent for this painting. To be completely honest with you guys, I didn't really like this painting in this point, and I was even considering starting from the beginning, but I'm really glad I didn't, because the rest of the picture ended up pulling everything together pretty nicely, so starting everything again would have been just a waste of time. But anyway, next it's time to start with the water part, and I guess this will be much easier than it looks. In my opinion, this brownish color palette was especially difficult when trying to find a color for the water. I think that's why it's such a good practice to limit yourself to a little bit unusual colors, because first of all, it's a great way to create different moods and unique sceneries, but also it teaches you that you don't need to use the most obvious colors in order to make things work. The difficult part is that your intuition probably wants to go with more usual colors, like maybe something bluish in this point, But in the end, for example here, I actually ended up mixing a very small amount of deep blue I had on my palette and created this almost purpley brown color for the water itself, and I think it worked just fine. Now, this might be pretty difficult in the beginning and requires some practice to learn to blend different colors, but I think it might be helpful to create some color swatches before even getting started, and also maybe having a reference picture in the color scheme you like would be helpful so you can compare that with your painting every once in a while. But yeah, after the first layer in the water, you can see me adding these darker stripes next with my tiny brush, and it helped to create the appearance of some waves in the horizon. Then I wanted to add some light glimmer under the sun, so using the same small brush, I just basically covered it with white paint and created some messy dots here in the center. I also mixed some light pink in there as well, just to keep up with the overall color theme. You could very well cover the whole bottom part with this ocean, but I decided to leave a small indication of the beach starting here in the lowest part. So first I created some waves. Usually the waves approaching the beach turn white in the pictures, so I use a lot of white here to create some messy shapes again. It might be a good idea to add some darker shadows under the waves and maybe between the white areas as well. But again, you really don't need to be too precise with any of these strokes in my opinion. I also added some more pink tones to the sand here, which tied together pretty nicely with the sky and the clouds. But finally, that's all for the first painting. I know the color is a little bit unusual, but I really liked the challenge and felt like it was very helpful painting experience. But now it's time to start with the second painting of today, which I wanted to keep slightly lighter and maybe softer. So we're starting with the same way as we did the first one, by first adding this background layer here that will pretty much indicate the overall shade of the picture. One thing I've noticed with painting with gouache paints is that these lighter colors often dry a little bit darker than they initially look, so you might need to mix more white paint to the rest of the colors that you might think if you're about to create a very light background like this. But anyway, we're starting with the sky this time as well, and I kind of wanted to first lighten the tone of it slightly. I learned from the first painting, and instead of the smaller round brush, I did this step with the same bigger flat brush I used for the background itself, and just started to add some light layers of white to tone down the pink a little bit. After that, I mixed some orange with the pink tones and decided to add this orangey hue to the horizon to kind of indicate the sunset. Again, this is a step that required some patience and blending, and I figured that working with these long strokes worked much better than trying to do smaller ones. I wanted the orange to blend together with the light pink tone of the sky, and when I was somewhat happy with that, I also decided to add some of these lighter strokes to the sky to resemble some fluffy clouds. I wanted the sky to be a little bit more simple in this painting and instead focus more on the lower part. So next we're already starting with the water, which will be just this pretty narrow, lighter area in this painting. I wanted this part to be the lightest so that it separated the sky and the peach part a little bit, and I achieved that by adding some light layers of white here again. I definitely mixed in some of those same yellowish and pinkish shades to not make this dark white by any means. And also you can again start with a little bit more water in the mix so that the paint will dry a little bit less opaque. But after that, we're adding another small sun here and a light bridge under it to the water. In this painting, the sun is slightly lower in the horizon than in the first one, so that it really matches with the orangey sunset effect here. But then let's move on to the main part of the painting, which is this lower section here. So I first started by just adding some random color variation here over the pink. Nothing too crazy, but just something to not have it appear quite so flat. And then it's time for probably the most nerve-wracking part of this whole painting, which are these dark crush thingies. I would advise to use the smallest brush you have for this step and start with very light hand. I know it's so easy to create too thick and shaky lines like this. It definitely happened to me here as well, so don't worry about it too much if that happens. I promise you'll slowly improve your thin lines if you just keep practicing them and slowly start to improve your brush control that way. Anyways, I just kept adding these crush strokes here. I also drew some on the other side to balance this picture a little bit, and then added some shadows under them to this sand as well. I don't know if I was the most happy with this part, to be honest, but it's not the end of the world if a part of your painting doesn't turn out perfect. Always try to remember that we are not trying to impress anyone here. We are just having fun with colors and practicing our skills. But then we are slowly reaching to the end of this painting. The last thing I did was to add some small details here and there. I darkened the horizon a little bit and then added some small strokes to the water part. But after these final details, we are finally done with this second painting. I think it was so much fun to work with these little bit different color palettes today, and it will definitely improve your creative skills if you do something like this from time to time. So I really hope you guys enjoyed these simple landscape paintings and maybe even learned something new. And as always, if this was your first time here, I do these types of painting tutorials every month on top of the regular bullet journaling videos. So if you're interested in all that, please consider subscribing. And in case you would like even more painting tutorials, you can check out my Patreon for some extra monthly content. But I think that's all for this time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day or night wherever you are. And see you in my next one. Bye bye.